husband used divorce as an excuse to protect his niece. So I gave him one.
Yeah, excuses.
So I, 36 female, have 2 kids. A boy, Tom, 5, and a daughter, Sarah, 18. Plus my husband's late brother's kid, Kelly, 16 female, who lives with us. You got that?
Yep.
14 months ago, my husband came home with Kelly and said she would be staying with us for a while. I barely knew Kelly because since her father passed away 10 years ago, her mom had been struggling with health and personal issues. Kelly was in a difficult situation at home, so he brought her to us.
Oh.
He told me it was only for 3 months while his parents, who recently moved abroad, got settled. Then it went to 5 until his sister had her baby. Just excuse after excuse until I stopped asking.
You don't seem too happy about this, OP.
I guess maybe it could be like a financial thing. I mean, she wouldn't feel threatened by her. She's 18.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know. This is weird.
As time went on, my husband just acted like she was our daughter, even bringing up adoption a few times, which I refused, even when he threatened divorce.
What is happening here? I do not like either party here.
I know I sound harsh, but you have to realize Kelly isn't easy to deal with, and my husband doesn't allow her to face any kind of consequences. There we go.
Okay, now I see.
Kelly acts like she's the golden child, and my daughter is the black sheep. She has big meltdowns, and she once upset our son by telling him my husband would leave us, which really shook Tom.
Dude.
She's tried and failed her mind games with me, pretending to be a saint. Her main target is my daughter. She's extremely unkind towards her, putting her down for every little thing like wearing makeup or calling her lazy and good for nothing for silly reasons like sleeping in on weekends. Oh, she came in and now she's just causing mayhem with your daughter.
Trojan horse. You get that reference?
Like it wasn't what you thought.
Yeah.
Oh, so Sarah's 18 as well.
Yeah.
By the way, this comes from NoCard9780, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Riley.
And we are here to talk about some stuff, maybe get some advice, maybe laugh a little. I don't know. Who knows what's going on? All I do know is that we don't have all the answers. We only tell you what we would do, but you should let us know what you would do down in the comments.
Yeah.
As OP says, she'll take Sarah's things and either lose them or break them, then cry to my husband, who will excuse her behavior even though he spends 70% of his time at work. We are all in therapy, which isn't working. Group sessions where someone points out Kelly's behavior or the adoption topic usually end up with everyone fighting. It all came to a head last month. Kelly was in a mood all week because Sarah had a big 18th birthday party with all the attention on Sarah, especially from my family, which Kelly mentioned in therapy.
So she is in therapy.
Everyone is. Everyone's in therapy, but...
I knew that, but...
Oh, you didn't know if Kelly was...
I knew everyone was in therapy. It just, with how this person's reacting and carrying themselves, doesn't really seem like it. I understand she's been through a hard time and her father passed away. Completely understand that. You would think they got some coping mechanisms by this point. Right? I don't know. Just some kind of, it's not all about me.
Yeah.
I thought we'd at least crack the surface of this.
Well, some things are really hard to be untaught, especially when that was most of your life, was you were the golden child, you got whatever you wanted, and then all of a sudden all that's taken away, and now your reality shattered, and so you're throwing a fit, and then everyone's like, what is wrong with this girl? And she's just wanting some normality.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to look at me and praise me. But also, I feel like they're not going to therapy separately. They're doing like family therapy where everyone's in the room, because she's like, oh yeah, Kelly mentioned this in therapy.
You can't really talk whenever everyone's in the room.
Yeah.
Because when you go home, they're going to keep talking.
Exactly. Be like, oh, why'd you mention this?
Weird.
Myself and Sarah were having a stupid fight over a non-issue because Sarah used all my shampoo and didn't replace it or let me know I was out. Kelly came out of nowhere screaming at Sarah, calling her a moocher, lazy, trash, and spoiled. She said Sarah was an adult now and didn't pull her weight, and that if she didn't, she'd get thrown out. I lost it. I told her Sarah was my daughter, and if she didn't change her attitude, she'd be the one thrown out.
Whoa.
Kelly didn't say anything, just went into her room. About an hour later, my husband came back and started screaming in my face, calling me names and telling me he wants a divorce so he can protect Kelly. So I said, okay, I want a divorce in 50-50 custody. I get my son, he gets his niece. Now get out of my house with his niece.
Oh my gosh. That's where a united front comes together. I know people give me a hard time for this, but you gotta prioritize your relationship with your wife first before your kids. I'm not saying, oh, forget about your kids or whatever. It's like you gotta check in with the person first before you you go in with the kids. And I've talked about this with Angie a ton of times. And if it came down to the decision of picking her life over our kids' life, I know we're already on the same page of picking the kids' life over our own lives. We're already on the same page there. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you got to be on the same page with the parent, because if you don't, that's going to be a crack.
Yeah.
And here we are talking about divorce.
No, I agree with that. I think how you word it could be better.
To me?
Like being like, oh yeah, I choose like myself over the kids. But like it's more so the kids have something, they don't see the fight, or the, you know.
Whenever the plane's crashing, you got to put your mask on first before you can put others on.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you should let them suffer or die or whatever. That's not at all what I'm saying. There's these little moments that happen every day. You know how many times you have to hit a rock in order for it to break?
A lot.
And that's what happens in relationships, is you're going to be getting hit here, hit there, hit here, hit there. And you got to pay attention to these little things. And if you're not on the same page with these little things, over time, that rock is going to break because it's been hit so many times.
It's true. And I think also just having a healthy relationship, being able to talk things through instead of being like, the kid is telling me this and then you're telling me this and me. And then like everyone's kind of like against each other in a way.
Yeah.
Then that's where it gets hectic. And
it's sad to see the parents' dynamic has fallen apart to this point.
Yeah.
But I get it. You cannot live there and be under that scrutiny. That makes sense.
He just brought her in. There was no conversation. There was deadline, but it kept moving.
And you probably would have been way more lenient if you guys had an actual productive conversation about this. But he just didn't consider you as a wife or a member of the household.
And now you have to grow to resent him because of that.
It's tough.
Hey guys, we're getting back to the stories here in just a second, but I have a huge problem. I just bought these 2 shrimp and they look so bored in my cage. I don't know what to do. I have to entertain them.
Well, I've got a solution. You take your caged shrimp and you bring them to the OK Storytime live show.
What? There's a live show?
That's right. The OK Storytime live show is happening Saturday, September 26th, and it's our 2nd ever live show.
OK Storytime Live!
I'm the ugliest person in the entire world.
Oh, so this is exclusive head.
How fun.
Mm-hmm. Early bird tickets are available for you and all of your shrimp for $10 until August 26th.
Oh, just go to okop.show to get your tickets now.
Do it. You and your shrimp.
They left and have been staying with his brother since. My husband now has to deal with Kelly all the time, and he wants more therapy to fix our issues so we can get back together and be a family again. They both came over yesterday to collect the last of their stuff, and Kelly asked me if it was her fault. I said yes, it was just as much her fault as her uncle's, my husband's.
Oh my God. OP!
I mean, it may be true, but you don't want to say that.
You don't say that!
Yeah.
That's gonna live with her forever!
Yeah, to be like, I broke up this family, it's my fault, you know.
You might as well just branded her at that point. You mentally and emotionally branded her. Isn't that wild?
To have that like burden on your shoulders.
That is, it will mentally.
My husband told me I'm being a monster and that Kelly is my daughter, whether I admit it or not, and that I've abandoned her when she finally had a stable home, that she doesn't mean to lash out, it's just her past, and that if we work together, we can help her through it. Hypocrisy.
Dude, why did you say that at the end?
Yeah.
That's something you might need to lead with and stick with, not accusing your wife of being a monster.
Yeah.
So much poor communication.
Honestly, now I don't know what to do and feel like an a-hole, and there's an update. In this situation, I think everyone kind of sucks here.
Yeah.
I mean, true. There wasn't any conversation to have about her moving in, what was going to happen. You know, that's a lot to just bring in a whole nother human being into your household. And then she starts causing problems. And then you're like, how do we deal with this? But you're supposed to feel bad for her because she's been through a lot, but she's acting out and being, you know, malicious towards your daughter. And there's so many factors in this to consider.
And also, if you want therapy to work, everyone's going to have to participate. It's a group project. Not one person can do all the work and get an A+. Everyone has to contribute on their own.
And I think everyone should get separate therapy as well if they're not already.
The intention was good. It just, some things fell apart. That's so sad. I'm sorry, OP.
I would have to go with everyone's the a-hole here.
So much misalignment.
Update. So yes, the divorce is going forward, even though my husband has begged me to stay because he can't handle the consequences of his actions.
Sounds like you've not loved him for a while.
Yeah, it was the...
It's the straw that hurt the butterfly effect.
That is not it. No, those are two separate things.
It's the straw that cost an arm and a leg.
The straw is Schrodinger. How do you say his name?
It's the straw that led the horse to water,
But
and
couldn't
it
make
cost
it
an
drink.
arm and a leg.
And it was an eye for an eye. This isn't our first fallout over me saying Kelly isn't my daughter and wanting her out due to how she and my husband treated Sarah. We nearly got divorced last year, but he used therapy as a tool to manipulate me into staying.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a lot of red flags here.
Sarah hasn't spoken much to her father since the first fallout because, as people noticed, even on his post, he left a lot out about Kelly and just put Sarah down, so it was clear who he only cares about. Sarah said she wants nothing to do with him and has warned family to butt out. I'm tired of the way he treats us in favor of his niece and his threats of divorce to get his way, so I hope he makes this easy on everyone. By the way, I'll make it easy on you to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. You just have to go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts and just type in OK Storytime.
Conspiracy theory.
I see you.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You said I see you.
Yeah.
Then you don't if you don't see where I'm coming from.
No, I just was saying that.
Don't just throw around things if you don't mean them.
I don't see you.
Husband is so about Kelly being his daughter because she actually is. He cheated on his brother's wife, and that's his kid. And his brother's been raising her for this whole time until now. And now he stepped up after his brother's passed away, taking care of her.
I mean, maybe?
That would make a lot more sense on why he's doing this. I mean, true, if it's your brother's kid, I would accept my brother's kid as my own if my brother passed away.
Yeah.
The kid had no one else to go to. If my brother had a kid right now and had nowhere else to go, I'd take him in. But the kid would have somewhere else to go. My cousin would probably adopt the kid.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. If that's the reason, that'd be effed up.
Let's see what this little update we have left.
Yes, Kelly has had a hard childhood and has suffered, but she isn't my problem anymore. I want zero contact with her and will make sure she won't have contact with my son. Got plenty of evidence and witnesses to make it happen. I can sound cruel, but she isn't my kid, so I don't owe her a relationship, and regardless of how bad her past is, she has no right to take it out on others. She could have had a life in America with her grandparents, but she refused to learn English. As for my husband possibly being her real dad, that's irrelevant to me because I won't get the truth and it would only cause more issues for my kids who've been through enough. Dang, see? So it is a possibility. That was good. I'll give you that one.
I can see it from a mile away with these stories. I know what's about to come around the corner.
What?
Reading it. Imagine reading the same James Patterson book 100 times. Thousands of times, actually.
Yeah, you do.
And I've read the same author all these times. I know what's about to happen. I'll check for an update.
Maybe. It would make sense, though. No update. Well, I guess we'll never know for sure. Well, P, I really hope that things work out in your favor. I'm really not sure what's going to happen in the future, but I do hope that you keep your children safe. But that is the end of that story, and we got another one coming right up.
My father wanted me to skip my daughter's recital for a funeral.
They're not going to know I'm not there.
Hot take, combine them. My daughter, 5 years old, had a dance recital on Saturday. Her dance studio scheduled everything a couple of months ago, so my husband and I were prepared to attend.
So it's a scheduling conflict.
It's as simple as that. Talk about an untimely passing. Last Wednesday, my father informed me that his mother-in-law, his wife's mother, had passed away, and that the funeral would be on Saturday. He said that he and his wife wanted me to attend it with my family, but would settle for just me. I'll be honest, I didn't want to go. I didn't have a close relationship with my father's mother-in-law, and my kids saw her once a year at most. But I wouldn't mind attending if it weren't for my daughter's recital. The funeral would take place in a different city, which is a very short flight away, which my father had offered to cover, so it wouldn't be possible to attend both unless
You live stream it.
you combine the two together. By the way, this comes from Recital Funeral Throw. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And OP says, I offered my condolences, but said my daughter had a dance recital on Saturday and that my family wouldn't be able to attend the funeral.
Okay, you're not as close. Makes sense.
I mean, like,
They're not as close.
yeah, if it'd be different if it was like,
Your dad.
I mean, not to be like bleak, someone you cared about. Clearly, you don't really care about this person.
She was just like an annual step grandmother.
Just, yeah.
Once a year.
I want the beauty of my 5-year-old daughter's recital. What a joy to see a bunch of little kids frolic around on stage.
Rather than watching an alive person in a casket. They're not going to dance.
What are they doing?
I'm going to waste my Saturday on that?
I want some show tunes. Weekend at Bernie's, this person.
Oh,
Have them dance around.
we went too far.
Can you imagine if that was the actual logic? She's just like, I just think funerals are boring and I want them to make her dance.
Dude, I would be shocked, honestly.
Facebook's gonna love that. My father said he understood why I couldn't take my children, though his wife was disappointed I wouldn't just tell my daughter's dance studio that there had been a family emergency. In spite of that, they both thought I should still go on my own. They said that my husband could attend the recital on his own, and that missing one of my daughter's events when I'm there for everything else wouldn't be a big deal, and that she's so young that she probably wouldn't remember it anyway. Yeah, right, dude. Talk about the moment you gain like some sort of weird trauma complex. Like, I had my 5-year-old dance recital and my mommy didn't show up.
I don't think it's that. I think you could explain it. If you missed the 5th one, 6th one, and 7th one,
That's true.
but you just missed one. Oh, he was there for 6th one.
It's weird and ethereal how kids develop that stuff, man. It happens and you don't even know it. She'd have more recitals in the future, but the funeral would only happen once. Unless, knock knock, who's at the door? It's Jesus.
I mean, he does know how to raise people from the dead.
He did only have one funeral though, because they didn't really bury him the second time. He kind of he ascended.
Oh yeah, he ascended the 6th time. Yeah. You know, whenever he died on the cross, people rose from the dead again.
Really? Other people? I am not up to speed on that.
Start walking around.
Talk about a trendsetter.
My man.
Saturday came. I attended my daughter's dance recital. Both my father and his wife were radio silent all day, and I chose not to bother them. My father finally called me yesterday, and we had an argument. He said his wife was inconsolable because her mother loved me and my children, and it broke her heart that we weren't there to say our goodbyes. He also said he was disappointed at how dismissive I'd been of his wife and her family, and that he couldn't believe I'd refused to make such a small sacrifice for someone who would drop everything to do the same for me. Pops might be cooking a little bit with that one, not gonna lie.
You go to a funeral once, and little one will have multiple funerals, hopefully. But you're also not promised tomorrow.
It's true. I mean, you could have maybe had it recorded by your husband and then, like, watched it with her so that she absolutely knows you're so supportive and love it and all that.
But also, this is OP's dad's wife's mom. Not OP's mom's mom. Not OP's direct grandmother. It's
Yeah.
stepmom's mom, step grandmother.
Grandmother-in-law.
Step back, 2-step grandmother. Is almost a travel in the NBA. In college, that is a travel.
It's kind of a gray area. I guess I would have gone to the funeral.
I know someone. Well, here's my thing. I know someone recently that has passed away, and I did not go to their funeral, even though close with them, but I knew them pretty well. In this case, I see what your dad's saying. If your dad needs you to be there to support him, I'd put that in consideration. I wouldn't go because of that person, because you didn't really know, you didn't have a relationship with them. Am I even in the will?
Yeah, I think...
Will I see people there that are also mourning that I know? Because when I went to see my great-grandfather, a lot of people there mourning because he passed away, and they were close to him.
Yeah.
And I was also close to him. But if I went to go see great aunt, whenever she passed away, I wouldn't know anybody there.
Yeah.
And some of my family would be there.
In this situation, it's more like maybe he could have been clearer that it's like he wanted you there to support his wife.
That's up to you, OP. I'm excited to see what he does here. I'm putting money on the daughter's recital. Everyone, put down your bets now.
I mean, no, she did. She did go to the daughter's recital.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now it's the reckoning.
Oh, well.
I continued to stand by what I did. I understand her passing was sudden and the funeral was rushed, but I had made a commitment to my daughter and I wanted to honor it. My father said she should be old enough to understand that her mom had something more important to do. Am I the a-hole? And we do have some more info from OP here. OP says she's my stepmother's mother. They've been married for about 6 years and together for a bit longer, but we're not close at all. I was an adult when they started dating, so I never really built a family bond with her. So I don't think of her as my stepmother. She didn't have grandchildren, but claimed she loved my kids as such. She always said she loved them like her own grandchildren, but she hardly ever saw them, and they didn't really see her as a great-grandmother. They barely knew her and didn't consider her a grandmother. I called her my stepmother and offered my condolences. And I did apologize profusely when I said my family wouldn't attend the funeral. I can assure you it wasn't an excuse. We weren't close and I didn't want to go. But I would have if I didn't have another commitment. I mean...
See, that's... Stuff like this happens, and you have to drop out of plans. If I didn't have another commitment, it's either you go or you don't go if there's a commitment or not. This is a scenario, if someone passed away and it was a free Saturday, would I still want to go or not? If there was like, yeah, I'd still want to go, then why didn't you cancel the recital? Now I'm conflicted on his decision. You see what I'm coming from?
No, she said I wouldn't go, or I would go if there was nothing else there.
But that's also like you should have went then.
But like, it's not like, oh, I had like a dinner. It's like a dance recital for my daughter. Like, it's like she practiced for like a long time and it's like the big event. And it's like, I can remember, I mean, I didn't do dance recitals, but it's like
Games and stuff like that.
it's a big deal. And it does make a difference. That's a weird tender age where weird stuff can happen and make you...
I think a weird tender age is around 8 to 11.
I do think there could have been a workaround. That if you're worried like, well, I don't want my daughter to think I don't support her, you could have figured something out. And I really do think, I think the answer is you're just like, I didn't want to go. If it inconvenienced me in any way to get there, I wasn't going to go.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I don't know. Now you're conflicted because you don't know how you feel.
In my country, it usually happens very quickly after passing away, the funeral. My grandfather's funeral was 2 days after his passing. There's a little more story here. I mean, honestly, I'm at a coin flip, but let's see what else OP has to tell us. I didn't say she's too young to remember anything. My father did. And I don't think she's too young to remember. I remember plenty from when I was 5. And I don't think my daughter needed to learn anything here. None of this was her fault. This was her second recital. She started taking dance lessons last year. My husband would have attended on his own, and my mother might have been able to go as well. I don't know that I would have had time to make up for it, but I do think she'd be very upset if I missed the recital.
Between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, pretty much.
My pet rock hates it when I say that.
Stop!
I'm going to try that today. I'm going to see how that goes.
Good luck with that. OP says, my father's expectations stood out to me. I think that those expectations are unrealistic at times, so I try to pay attention whenever I think it might be extending to my children. And that is the end of that story.
Well, you chose your living child of your dead step grandmother, and you're going to have to live with it and the consequences of hurting your stepmother.
I think I agree.
Stand on business. You know what I'd do, bro? I'd go to the recital, as you already did, have the video, edit it, and then send it to stepmother. Be like, look at this. Look how fun that was. Did you have fun?
This is why...
Oh, you could have had your mind taken off of something. Maybe you should have planned it a week out. Double down, bro.
Going full, like, Hiroshima.
Be family man.
I think you could have made... What, she?
Oh, this is she? It's been a she this whole time?
Yeah.
She made her bed, bro.
I think you could have done either one and both would have been correct for different reasons and wrong for different reasons. Choosing your daughter's perception of you loving and supporting her over father and stepmother who you don't really have a connection with is right on paper, that's for sure. I hope they can get past it.
Good luck.
That's the end of that story.
We got another one. My sister tried to hijack my wedding, so I handed her the whole reception.
Here you go. Have fun.
My wife, female 32, and I, male 29, are already married.
We got there.
We had a civil wedding for legal reasons.
Like a courthouse wedding.
For legal reasons?
Just to get it out of the way.
With our only immediate families and 2 friends each invited to the dinner after party. However, we always wanted an honest-to-goodness church wedding. After a few years, we were lucky enough to have saved up and received a large windfall of money. So we decided to have a moderately big one. Hitting the lotto!
There it is. Cha-ching.
During the planning, my wife noticed that I had only invited a few of my friends and only my brother, his wife, and my cousin and his wife from my side of the family, and asked me why that was. She knows my history with my mother's side of the family, especially with my mother and my sister, and how difficult and entitled they could be. They're probably so entitled they want to walk down the aisle with the bride.
Yeah, this is actually our wedding now, and it was like a stealing the thunder version of Prima Nocta. It's like we don't want to do that. We just want the moment.
I told her straight up that I don't want to invite them because I'm 1,000% sure they would pull something at our wedding. However, she was adamant about inviting them and concerned about how it would look to all the guests if there were only a few guests from my side and a lot from hers. It's like that one scene in Up, you know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Where like the guy's family's like all dressed really nice and they're like, and then we look over to, what's her name? What's her name?
It was Ellie.
Ellie's side of the family. Like, oh yeah, where's it? Let's go.
Yeah.
That's my side of the family.
The greatest opening sequence of all time.
She worried that her family would think mine doesn't like them. By the way, this comes from Independent Knee 1109. And if you want to submit your own stories, you know where to go. Opie says, I told her that if she wants this, I will be in charge of the reception and I will not back down on this if she really wants to invite my mother and my sister. Here's Pandora's box. Have fun.
Crack it open.
You know when he closed it, you know what was left in it?
Nothing?
Hope.
Better have hope in your soul than soap in your hole. It's one of my dad's favorites. And depending on the hole, you really should put some soap there.
So we came to a compromise. She handles the actual wedding, and I will handle the reception as the price for inviting my mother and sister. Having the knowledge of how my mom operates, I told her that we would be having an additional reception separate from the evening reception after the ceremony.
So, okay.
So I pulled some budget from the reception after the ceremony and put it into booking a pool house where we would be having a party the day after. I still followed through with my wife's request of having the reception at the venue she wanted, with the ballroom and garden, but I skimped on the buffet, the DJ, and the photographer. Side note, the buffet is still awesome for how cheap they charge, and they're great people that I plan to hire them every time I need a buffet for a party. I want to shout them out, but if I do, I'll probably dox myself. Are you edging a sponsor? What's happening here?
Shout out Beep Catering Company.
Both the DJ and the photographer are good friends of mine and agreed on doing this on a discount. The day of the wedding came. It went well, and thank the Lord above that my mother and sister had the restraint not to wear white or off-white.
They're those kind of people.
If I knew that, I'd have like a gallon of red wine ready with me wherever.
Just a big old bottle of Carlo.
I purposely did not tell them the color scheme, but they did wear something that didn't contrast with the colors of the bridesmaids' dresses. They came with my sister's girlfriend. That was expected because my brother told me my sister asked him if he could do it, and I said it's fine. The problem came at the wedding reception. Is the wedding reception after the ceremony?
Yeah.
Okay. My mother invited about 15 of her friends.
Yo! It's not just a open, invite, dude.
So, can me and my girlfriends get in for free or not?
That's absurd behavior from your mom.
Oh, luckily, it was a buffet, and we had enough space in the ballroom to accommodate the surprise guests. Anywhere else, this would not be chill.
Dude, it's just like, I imagine his mom being like, just like she just types in the group chat. She's like, they got a buffet here. Everybody come quick. It was a complete spur of the moment thing. And 15 of her friends were so obsessed with a free buffet that they just dropped everything and sped over there at maximum velocity.
Fully expecting something to happen, I scheduled the programs to come after the picture taking and buffet dinner. As my friend and I were getting ready for the programs, my brother called me aside and informed me that my sister-in-law heard from my mother that my sister is planning to propose to her girlfriend in the middle of the speeches?
Nope.
Oh!
Nope. Get her out. Get her out. Get her out now.
Oh!
Get her out of here now.
No. Dude, this almost happened at my brother's wedding.
Oh.
His friend was like, I'm thinking about proposing to my girlfriend here. My brother, he was like, dude, this place isn't even special to you guys, and it's on a random day.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
She's like, I can see your brother just put your hand out and be like, dude, that's a terrible idea.
That's kind of what he did.
It's kind of cute, but it's a really bad idea.
Make it more special. It's my wedding. Come on. Expecting it didn't help at all because I was still mad that even though I invited them, they had the gall to pull something like this. Before anything happened, I asked my brother to call my mother and sister to the garden and have them wait for me there. As I was going to talk to them, my wife saw me and my brother heading to the door and asked me what was happening. I told her everything my brother told me. She said that she wanted to come with me to make sure I wouldn't do anything drastic. We get in the garden. It was like a 2 to 3 minute walk from the ballroom, and I was already mad. As soon as I saw them, I got into an argument with my mother and sister. My mother claimed this wedding was just a show and anyway, because we already got married a few years back and that everyone we know was just already here. So it was just convenient for my sister to propose and have her engagement here so our families could celebrate it as well. They're trying to skip out on an engagement party.
Wait, what?
That's why she invited 15 people.
Oh no.
Dude.
What the Get your own. You wanna propose out of just pure convenience?
Everyone's here already. Why not?
Get him out of here.
How much money are they saving by doing this engagement party at Opie's wedding? It's beautiful. It's nice.
They said that they came into money and they were like, we want to have the big wedding now. So this is a nice big event.
Oh my God. So they were waiting to hijack the wedding reception. Dang.
You know what I would do at this point? Well, no, you've already spent a lot of money. I just think it'd be really funny if all the people who weren't actually invited were just the only ones left, and you told all of the people that you were actually that you actually wanted here, we're leaving. We're going this.
Hey,
we're going to
this
this other
pool
place.
house. Come to the pool house.
Nobody tell my mom or my sister or any of their friends where we're going.
I was so mad, I just stopped arguing with her and proceeded to head back to the ballroom. Now, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't like being put on the spot. I hate being in the middle of drama. I hate creating drama. All of this gets thrown out the window when I am this mad. I also managed to make myself so pissed on the walk back to the ballroom that my wife noticed it, grabbed my hand and asked me, "Are you going full Karen mode?" What? Full mother's name.
Full Bertha.
Are you going full Bertha? It's a term we use when describing I go full a-hole mode and do some drastic crap. When I got back to the ballroom, instead of going back to the seat with my wife, I went to my friend, the DJ, and asked to stop the music, give me the mic. I asked for the people's attention and told them this: beloved guests and family, my wife and I intend to retire for the night because this night had been ruined for us. My ungrateful sister wanted to propose to her girlfriend tonight at my wedding reception because, as my mother said, it's convenient. Everybody is already here. To my wife's family and to those I invite to tomorrow's party, we will see you there. And for everybody else, please stay for my sister's engagement party. If any of you wish to go home, you could. And if not, please stay. Everything is already paid for. We just blow 15 grand real quick.
You just ruined your sister's proposal. Excellent job, OP.
I gave the mic back to my friend, walked to my wife to grab her hand, and went to the tables where my wife's family is, apologized, then wished to see them tomorrow. Dude, I don't know. I talked to the wife, though. I mean, she kind of knew. She kind of knew what was about to happen, but...
Yeah, I mean, she did ask you if you were going to go full Bertha. But honestly, like, no matter what happened, whether you stop the proposal, there's going to be a huge scene because if you try to stop it and you tell them to leave, they're not gonna, and then they're gonna barge in and be like blah 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 blah. So you took all of the power away and you said, fine, I'll give you exactly what you want. I'll also ruin your proposal, and I mean, since it's just so convenient, since I had everyone's attention, I just thought I'd let them know what you plan to do since it was convenient.
My mother and sister walked in about halfway on my speech and just stood there and listened. Now, am I the a-hole for ruining my own wedding reception and putting my guests in an awkward position? And maybe this is just me holding on to hope for my sister, but am I also the a-hole for making her the target of my anger when I'm pretty sure it's all my mother's idea? I don't fully acknowledge that it is, but there's a big chance that my mother did give her the idea. Update.
Ooh, I thought your sister was kind of...
They are in the same boat. The fact that your sister was remotely okay with this and going along with it, even if the idea popped in her head, it should have went out. She was a good person.
Yeah, even if mom's like, oh, he said that this is a great idea. It's like... You should ask, right? You should ask him.
You cool with that? You cool with that, brother?
Here's what I'll say.
I have a solution of what I think would have been better.
Go ahead.
I would have went up to one of your strong friends and asked them to remove your mother and sister, and then continue to have a good time at your party.
That's a lot. That's a lot to ask out of a random, like, please strong arm my mom and sister out of the premises.
Sometimes guys get bored at parties, and this will be the highlight of their night.
I don't know, putting hands on his mom?
I'd ask them to remove them. Since they're already in the garden area, just be like, hey, can you go up to her, ask her to please leave before I make another scene? I would have done that instead of ruining my party. I mean, I know that you're going to see everybody later, but this is your reception, dude. It shouldn't let someone else hijack it.
I guess
You have the power to remove them, not to give up. And it feels like he went on his back and just showed his belly.
Here's what I'll say. Whatever you were going to do, you should have had the full support and backing of your wife. If she wasn't going to support you going full Bertha and giving your reception away to your sister and mother, I don't think you should have done it.
Yeah.
I think you're on the right. Maybe there was a way you could have ruined her proposal. Or I don't know, man. How could you have stopped this? Could you have tricked them somehow into like going somewhere else?
I just want to know what the wife thinks, dude. That you're not just ruining your party, you're ruining you and your wife's party. I know you guys have been together for a while and you get it, but if she was on board with it, good on you. But if she wasn't and slightly a little mad, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the consequences are.
Yeah, let's see how this wraps up.
I accept the consistency that I am the a-hole. I did not handle that properly on my end. I let my mother's blood in me drive me into decisions that made that night awful, not just for my guests and my wife's family, but also for my wife and I. My wife has also read some of the comments and feels like it is also her fault for being adamant that we invite them despite my protest.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is nice of her to own up to that.
At least you weren't in the doghouse by yourself.
Maybe there was a way.
Yeah.
It was just it's all bad. It's all bad.
Nightmare fuel. But in her defense, and this is me, the OP saying this, I believe that it is more than just the optics that she wanted to invite my mom and sister. Given that she has this mindset of, I didn't experience it, I don't believe it. She still held out some kind of hope that my brother and I were just exaggerating things because we are in the middle of it. Oh, she thought, she didn't believe him.
She's like, they're not that bad.
Watch!
Could you have convinced everyone in the reception? Like, could you be like, okay, my sister's going to try to propose to her girlfriend here. I want everybody to say nothing when it happens. Just to teach them the lesson that this is not what you do. Can we all agree? You don't propose at other people's weddings.
Well, what would you guys do? I am curious to see what other people do. But the truth is, she didn't get to experience it because I didn't want her to be in the middle of it. I purposefully cut off everything I can from my mother because I know how she can be. She's controlled most of my relationships for most of my life. And I was only able to date and marry my wife because my dad intervened on my behalf and because I was already away from them at that time. After my dad passed away, because there was no longer anyone to temper her, she got worse. To succinctly describe my mother, if she goes to heck, Satan would be her personal assistant. Also, you can tell this guy's Christian because of how he spelled Satan. He spelled it with a lowercase s.
Gotta lowercase that boy.
That's what I do. I would feel bad if anyone called my mother a Karen because I would feel like it's an insult to Karens everywhere. What do you call it? Black hole Karen or supernova Karen?
Super mega quasar Karen.
Quasar.
Karazar.
Now, on to the pool party. As I've commented on the old post, the party went very well. Everyone that was invited was present. And right before the speeches, I apologized profusely to the guests for putting them in such an awkward position. After everyone had said their piece and the actual party and program started, I went around with my wife through her family to explain everything. They told us it was awkward and they ruined the night, but they wished that they had known what they know now because they would always have my back. My aunts and uncles and cousins have always treated me as family since my wife and I got married.
The in-law cousins.
I hope that I didn't want to say like aunts in-law, uncles in-law.
Yeah.
Their family is so close-knit that being a part of it was the most wonderful and alien experience for me, coming from what I experienced with my family. When I go home after a visit to my father's grave, I will always go straight to my wife's family compound because I feel much more at home there than anywhere else. Are you talking about my family?
What?
My family back home's got a compound.
Oh, I thought you were like, yeah, I don't go back home to my family because I feel more at home with, and I was like,
no, it sounds like my family with the compound thing.
Yeah, the compound. Yeah, I mean, when you've got 100 brothers, yeah, it makes sense.
And half of them are goats. From what I gathered about what happened the night of the reception after I had a fit, went to the family's table, said goodbyes, and stormed out with my wife. Mother-in-law, kind of gave them the gist of the history between my mother and me based on the information my wife had told her over the years. So she decided to convince the family that the night was over, headed home, and just get ready for the pool party the next day. The DJ and the photographer, who are both my friends by the way, started packing up as soon as the family started heading out the door. Dang.
Hey, real ones.
Even the caterers, who just became my exclusive catering company because of how awesome they are, boxed the food, left them at the table, and started tidying up. Dang, dude, everybody left.
That's why you don't propose at a wedding.
What happened to my sister's engagement party is a mystery to me because I did not care to ask of my actual invited guests who chose to say, and I do not really give a dang about what happened. We do. OP.
Here's what happened.
Tell me, I need it.
Awkward, flaccid.
What an adjective.
Awkward and flaccid. A classic combo.
Sounds like my first sexual experience.
Doesn't it?
All in all, I accepted that I am the a-hole for putting my true family, my wife's family, through an awkward situation, plus my brother, my cousin, and his wife. My wife is still justified on trying to reach out for hope, but acknowledges that forcing me about it is a mistake and that we could have handled it better. FYI, my mother would not have accepted being escorted out by security or otherwise. To quote her, when this actually happened at a family Christmas party when I was still a teen, the only way for you people to take me out of here is in a body bag. Thanks again, y'all. Well, that kind of answered my question. I would add a couple of those prepared. How many do you need?
No, just a couple. just two.
One for the upper half, one for the lower.
Bag them up.
Dakota, what do you think of that story? What was your favorite part?
It had to have felt so blissful in that moment where you just blew up the entire party. It had to probably gnaw at you a little bit. I just can't think of a better way to go about it. I really can't.
The way OP did?
Yeah, like...
That's the way you would do it.
I mean, you just deal with it? Like, no, I don't know. I think I would have tempered myself more. There's no way I would have done it if my wife was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
So...
Wife seems chill about it. She doesn't hold a lot over OP.
Yeah, no, wife was like, yeah, kind of my bad. I did really strong arm you into making them come. But I definitely would have had to figure out some way to make that not really work.
Yeah.
I would have, like, someone would have had to call somebody and, like, fake an emergency, and then they would have had to leave. Something to get them out of there.
The way I would have done it is escorted them. I know she threatened that early on, but escorted them and then also said, hey, if you were one of my mother's friends that wasn't initially invited, please leave. Today is not about my sister's engagement, and we really appreciate it. We were trying to celebrate my wedding and then get the crowd roaring, get the crowd on my side, and then get them out of there. Kick them out!
The mob on my side.
It's easy to get a crowd on your side, dude.
You could have had the DJ just, like, play, like, just the worst possible music over it.
I don't know about that.
Playing Lil Jon over your sister's proposal.
To the window, to the out. That's the end of that story. We're going to read you another one.
I did everything for my sister's wedding and got treated like a stranger.
You didn't do enough.
My sister, 24 female, recently got married to her boyfriend after finding out she was preggers.
Let's go. That's how my parents got together. Yay!
That's the sound of a shotgun wedding. There wasn't really an engagement. They decided to get married fairly quickly. A few months ago, she called me, 27 female. I live several states away and don't visit home often. She told me she was pregnant and asked me to be her bridesmaid. I happily accepted. While discussing wedding details, I asked who was coming out of curiosity. She told me several relatives weren't invited.
Red flag, maybe?
I mean...
Why are they not invited? That's the real question.
Everybody's got some people who are on their naughty list, you know? 2 days later, she then sent me a long text saying she was upset because it seemed like I was more excited to see extended family than I was about her wedding.
Two things at once.
Can we just be happy about all of it? I apologized, although I didn't think being excited to see family and it being excited for her marriage had to be mutually exclusive. To attend, I spent a little over $1,000 on everything ranging from the flights to the dress.
Dang.
I'm a PhD student, so $1,000 is quite a bit of money for me.
I spent like $2,000 seeing my brother for his wedding. That's just flights and everything else.
That airfare is gnarly right now. And by the way, this comes from Salty Wedding Guest 101. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit, and OP says. I also asked if she'd like me to give a big sister speech. She enthusiastically agreed. I spent time writing one, including childhood memories and a welcome to my future brother-in-law. I even checked with her beforehand about topics she'd rather I avoid. At the rehearsal dinner, she barely acknowledged me. As I was leaving, she told me I would no longer be giving the speech because speeches were now limited to parents, the maid of honor, and the best man.
Well then, feel like I got fleeced.
Well, I assume you did the speech at the rehearsal. Maybe she just didn't like it. What's going on? The next morning, I arrived on time with my dress, hair, and makeup done.
I mean, we have girlfriends. That's impressive.
That's better. That's good.
On time?
That's top percentile.
With her makeup already done?
My sister never said hello or even looked in my direction.
I know why. Because you look better than her on her day.
Yeah, I mean, there's some kind of complex here. She's mad at you because you're probably not having to impromptu marry a guy that, got you pregnant. And I don't know, she feels like maybe she's misplacing her own angst at her own life and making it about you, trying to like be less enthusiastic about her wedding than seeing other people. I don't know, man.
Weird.
At one point, my sister asked for help with her dress. As I followed her and the maid of honor toward the bathroom, she turned around and snapped that I should wait downstairs because I wouldn't fit in the bathroom.
Oh, it's because there's too many people? It's because there's too many people.
It's because there's too many people, right?
Or is it because I will be the only one in the bathroom and I couldn't make it in? Which one is it, sister?
You're looking a little heavy yourself. Afterward, my sister, her husband, the maid of honor, and the best man took off and disappeared, while the rest of us bridesmaids stood outside in the heat, wondering where we were supposed to go for photos.
That is the best place to leave bridesmaids.
Yeah, in the sweltering sun.
Glistens them.
Yeah, we just wanted the aesthetic of our wedding to be moist and tired.
Yeah, I think we're going for it and we accomplished that.
I eventually found them inside, cooling off.
The men were cooling off while the women went out to burn.
Well, it was two and two.
It was the groomsmen.
No, it was her sister,
Oh,
the
never
maid
mind,
of
never
honor, groom, and the man of honor. Only the people who matter enough to find relief from the heat. When I politely asked where the bridal party should meet for pictures, she snapped in front of several family members, "It's my day. I don't know. Just ask the maid of honor. The four of us are taking our pictures, and you're not in those."
All right, cool. I'm going to leave too, by the way.
I mean, on a real level, do you leave this wedding after she snaps at you multiple times and says you're too big to fit in the bathroom?
Well, honestly, I'm probably not. 1, it's her wedding day. 2, don't know how pregnant she is, but she is pregnant.
Yeah.
3, I can probably suck it up for the day.
Yeah.
Not going to be fun.
Because if you do leave, then it will always be the thing, whether it was justified or not, that, well, you left my wedding early.
She is going to be on thin ice. If she does one other drastic thing that embarrasses me in front of people, I'm out of there.
I think,
Your own sister, too, dang.
yeah, you're a good sister for putting up with this nonsense, OP.
I played Tate in 2K right before he got married, and he won. I want him to win, but he also won fair and square.
That's a good omen, I think.
Yeah. I had the Timberwolves. He had the Spurs. He had the Spurs, bro.
Oh, yeah, the Wembies?
They didn't nerf De'Aaron Fox yet in that, so.
He
was still making his
They didn't have
layups.
NBA Finals De'Aaron Fox. Continues. We eventually took the bridesmaid photos. Later, when I asked another basic question, she again put her hand up towards my face and said, "Like I said, it's my day," before walking away.
All right.
I don't know if I could contain myself.
It's okay, you're going to have to.
Third strike, baby. Hand in my face. I'm biting it.
I'm hungry. Where's the food?
Give me those little piggies.
I think a little Snickers bar for everyone would maybe solve a little bit of these problems.
As I was pulling out to go back to the airport,
Your sister doesn't know how to do that.
As I was pulling out to go back,
doesn't know how to do that.
my stepmom came to my car window, kissed me goodbye, and asked if I had said goodbye to my sister. My sister and her husband happened to be walking up right behind her. I said something like, "I think so. So I'm just gonna head out." My sister then made a sad face with a, "No, she hasn't." Pick a lane, bro.
Are you mad at me or not? Stop. What do you want?
And that would also annoy me so much. I hate people who do that kind of stuff. They're like, nah, all day. And then it's when it's like, "No, oh, my sissy didn't say bye to me." At that point, I was trying very hard not to lose my temper. So I rolled down my window. I said, "Bye, have a good day," and drove away.
There we go.
Looking back, I realized that probably sounded passive-aggressive, but I felt so hurt and unwelcome. Oh well. And that is the end of that story.
Your sister used you. That's the end of it. Good on you, OP.
Oh, you handled it better than I would have.
Tough one. Guys, that's the end of that story and this freaking episode.
Damn.
So, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.
Hey, I know we're all very busy, but
I just want to let you know we have more bonus stories you can listen to, so you might want to stay tuned for the next one.
My ex's ex-wife tried to befriend me, but I want nothing to do with her.
So complicated of a love triangle.
Yeah. I, 36 female, dated my ex-boyfriend, Dwayne, 37 male, for a year and a half. He has a daughter, Millie, 11, from a previous marriage. Dwayne and I met in elementary school, and we were childhood friends who grew up in the same town. While we grew apart, we bumped into each other all the time in town and had a lot of mutual friends. By the way, this comes from Dingoes Ate My Ammo, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to OK Storytime subreddit. At the beginning of our relationship, Dwayne did not have visitation rights to his daughter due to a custody battle going on with his ex at the time. This was a red flag for me, but I knew it was a contentious divorce and they were in and out of court frequently for years over custody, so I noted the red flag. But the custody battle was not unusual. When he got approved for supervised visits, Dwayne invited me to attend. I felt a little awkward about it at first. I didn't want to intrude on Dwayne's limited time with his daughter or make things more complicated for her. When Dwayne explained he'd be more comfortable with another adult present, I agreed to accompany him on the visits. The first few visits were awkward. Having a social worker present, of course, took getting used to. Dwayne and Millie both enjoy being outdoors, so when the weather was nice, we'd all hang out in the yard while Millie played with the neighborhood kids. One of her friends, Leanne, always stared daggers at me, and eventually Millie told the supervisor, Lisa, that she didn't know how to explain my presence to her friends. I offered to stop coming if it made her uncomfortable, but Millie quickly said it wasn't me, it was her friends and their questions. It was decided she'd introduce me to her friends as a friend of her dad's. Once she did this and they started including me in their games, we all had a great time.
All right.
Nice. This became routine, and Millie and I got along really well. Her friends also asked me to play games with them. The trouble started when Dwayne's ex-wife, Amber, started talking to me at drop-offs and pickups. Dwayne and Amber don't speak directly to each other outside the presence of lawyers or through a co-parenting app. So Amber would give Dwayne a rundown of what he needed to know at drop-off. She has a cold, so she's taking the medicine, needs a dose in 2 hours. She has this thing to go to at 1, and here's the stuff she needs for it, etc. Dwayne would ignore her and act like she wasn't speaking and ask me later what Amber had said because he wasn't listening. Red flag number 2. That's a blazing red flag. He's not listening to stuff about his daughter? As a result, when Amber gave us the rundown at switch-offs, I would ask questions and jot things down. So eventually, these conversations happened between Amber and me while Dwayne sulked beside me. Millie was involved in sports, and some of the games fell during Dwayne's parenting time. He was excited about this because he's very athletic and genuinely had fun preparing for the games, talking to the other parents, and cheering on the team. Amber and Dwayne both attended all the games. The two parents would compete with one another, each trying to out-cheer the other. Dwayne would try to win over the parents sitting with his ex. If Millie needed a water break, she struggled with which parent to sit with. I was always kind to Amber. I'd say hi to her when I saw her. If it was Amber's parenting time and Millie needed a water break, I'd wave her toward her mom and calm down her dad. If it was Dwayne's parenting time, I'd wave her over to Dwayne and give Amber a respectful nod. So Opie's just the mediator here.
Goodness gracious.
That's frustrating. That's so frustrating. If the other parents commented on Dwayne and Amber's competitive cheering, I'd say something like, "Isn't it great she has two parents who want to cheer her on so passionately?" When I saw a friend of mine sitting with Amber during one of the games, I went over and said hi. She was there watching her niece play. I said I was dating Dwayne and we were watching Millie alongside Amber. Amber pointedly ignored me, but I continued to talk to our mutual friend and attempted to respectfully include Amber in the conversation. Amber's icy demeanor visibly warmed. Eventually, Amber and I became amicable. She'd smile and return my greetings. I'd walk over and chat with her during games. Nothing substantial, just, "Hi, how are you?" And, "Wow, the sun's hot today, huh?" Enough to acknowledge her presence in a civil manner. It went a long way. If Millie wanted to run to her dad instead of her mom after she scored a goal, Amber didn't make a fuss about it. The same could not be said for Dwayne, who got mad at me for being friendly with his ex. She's the only one who's trying to keep your parenting intact here. I was just trying to make things easier for Millie, but he took it as some kind of slight. He insisted I should be on his side, not become best friends with his ex-wife. It's literally, when it comes to children, no sides.
No sides.
No sides. It's what's best for the kid.
Exactly.
I told him I wasn't best friends with his ex-wife by any means, but if it made things easier for Millie, I was willing to be cordial with her mom. Shortly after, Dwayne got his regular visitation back. His parenting style changed dramatically. He stopped buying food for Millie, so when she came to her dad's, it was a scramble to make her something. He stopped playing with her, telling her to run outside with her friends while he sat with his neighbor and chatted. As the cold weather came in, it became apparent that Dwayne didn't have any toys or other means of entertainment for Millie. There were some coloring books and crayons given to her by her grandparents. Other than that, Millie's entertainment consisted of watching YouTube with her dad and playing games of hide and seek with us. We started taking Millie to my house, where I kept a supply of blue box mac and cheese and microwave chicken nuggets, as well as markers, colored pencils, sketch pads, and coloring books for when my cousin's kids visit. It got to the point where I was buying groceries for Millie, making sure she ate, playing with her, and keeping her entertained while Dwayne shot the crap with his friend or took a nap. He seemed entirely disinterested at best. Blazing red. I would have a conversation with him and say, like, either you need to freaking pay me back for these groceries or take care of your daughter. This is your daughter. She is not my responsibility. When we took Millie to the beach so she could hang out with her friends, Dwayne's behavior reached a tipping point. He didn't pack any food or water for Millie, saying, I thought you would take care of that. He grilled Millie about her mother until she cried, and when I told him to back off, he barked at me not to tell him how to talk to his daughter. He yelled at Millie in front of her friends. The icing on the cake was when he made inappropriate comments about one of the children present. Disgusting. I was disgusted, and our breakup started that night. We had an event for Millie to go to the following week, so I attended for her sake. We broke up officially later in the week. Over that time, I discovered Dwayne had cheated on me with at least 2 women. He came by to pick up his stuff from my house and tried to reconcile, but I was not persuaded. I blocked him everywhere and went no contact. I ran into Amber the day of the breakup, and I explained that Dwayne and I were broken up. Amber was surprisingly warm and sympathetic. She was actually disappointed, saying, you would have been the perfect stepmother for my daughter. I was honestly more heartbroken to lose Millie than to lose my ex. I had some things for Millie and asked Amber if I could drop them off to her. I didn't want to go anywhere near my ex's house. When I stopped by, Amber invited me to sit down on the porch and talk to me about her time with Dwayne and why they broke up, as well as the purpose of the custody dispute, his alleged inappropriate behavior towards children. To this day, I don't know if the allegations are true, but since Dwayne made inappropriate comments about a child to me, I was genuinely concerned. Amber friended me on social media and we kept in touch. However, it soon became clear all we had in common was Millie and Dwayne. She would call me after a switch off to complain about Dwayne, tell me about his latest girlfriend, etc. I told her I'd rather not hear about Dwayne because it was painful for me. However, she continued to vent to me about Dwayne as well as other things in her life. She also seemed a little unstable and often hinted about money problems. At one point, she asked if she could use my streaming account so Millie could watch a few particular Christmas movies. I felt like she was using me and she wasn't being respectful of my boundaries. I've slowly limited my contact with Amber and eventually stopped replying to her messages. It's been over 2 years since Dwayne and I broke up. I feel extremely guilty about this because cutting off Amber also means cutting off Millie. I'm not no contact, but low contact. I feel like Amber really wants to be my friend, but it's hard for me to embrace a friendship with someone who does not respect my boundaries. Am I the a-hole for going low contact with my ex's daughter and her mother? And by the way, you shouldn't go no contact with us because you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search up OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more to the story, but do you have any final thoughts? What would OP be the a-hole?
No, not at all.
That's not your kid, not your relationship. You would not be the a-hole. It's going to be sad. And Millie probably is going to be sad about, losing you.
I think
once your kid.
Millie gets old enough, you can send her a graduation gift and be like, hey, you were always awesome. I hate that we didn't work out.
I think that's appropriate. But you don't have to. I mean, it sucks, but I think the best thing is just to be like, okay, I'm not going to see you guys anymore. But there is a little bit left to the story. Added to those saying I didn't do enough, should have reported him, etc. Dwayne and Amber were both investigated by social services. I had no proof to report anything. As soon as he made creepy comments about a kid, I gave that info to Amber's mother to use in their court case. But it was the word of his now ex with no proof. I'm not sure how I could have done anything more where social services was already investigating and probably continues to. Thanks for kicking me while I'm already feeling like an a-hole though. Yeah, I mean, what is OP supposed to do?
Yeah, she did what she
gave
did.
That information.
She did what she thought was the best.
But that is the end of that story, so we're going to get into the next one.
My ex-girlfriend was extremely controlling, so I gave her an ultimatum.
Ooh, leave or don't leave.
Let me hang with the boys or not. I, 21 female, am in a relationship with Tyra, 20 female. We've been together for over a year. Tyra had a previous relationship where the woman she dated was truly not a lesbian, but she was coming out as a new thing in our town. Her ex just did it for some stupid trend. By the way, this comes from Personal Magazine, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So while they dated, Tyra's ex was cheating with men, which is one of those flings became serious. Ex-girlfriend ended up spilling everything and left Tyra for him. This left Tyra with some issues. I feel like her issues are to the point where she needs help. I understand her pain and done everything in my power to make her feel comfortable. I constantly show her off, buy expensive things for her. I allow her to free roam to check my phone, and when I'm out with friends, and when she needs me, I'm there for her before we're off the phone. I'd literally give the clothes off my back and the food out my mouth to this girl. A week after our 1 year mark, Tyra sat me down. I assumed it was because we're planning to move in together. She started off really sweet. To summarize, she said her feelings were strong and she could see us spending the rest of our lives together. But she has some rules which will make her feel comfortable and secure. Here are the rules. She wants me to FaceTime her every time I supposedly on a break at work.
No.
2, I can't have any guy friends.
No.
3, I can't hang out with any of my family friends who are men, including my childhood best friend, literally since diapers. Our families are immigrants since they are Asian and we're African. Our cultures have some similarities, so our families practically merged when the elders met after landing in the US. Cutting contact with him would rain check me. Plus, he's my brother. I'd never hurt him like that.
No.
4, lastly, unless the guy friend is gay or trans, I can't chill with them. She also needs proof that they're actually gay. I looked at her with a dead face and said, no. If isolating myself from guys in general and my family makes you feel secure, then I guess you won't feel secure, Tyra. You do what you need with that information, then left. I didn't see her for 2 days. After that, during that time, her mom and sisters called me to try to get me to see her from her point of view.
No.
I told them they were stupid for enabling her point of view.
Yep.
Tyra asked for us to talk a while after. I told her we could text as I'm pretty hurt and don't want to see her face. This is exactly what I said. You have no right to control me or what I do. I am not your ex. I have been dating women since I was 15. We've been together for a year. Aren't I trustworthy? Have I ever let you down or disappoint you? Now I have one rule. You get therapy, and I'm not bluffing when I say just as fast as you say no. I will have Tinder downloaded and my Facebook status back to single. As I told her she didn't have to respond right away, I'd give her some time to herself. Tyra is now making posts about unfaithful people. I've never cheated on anyone, so I don't know who this is for. Partners who aren't focused on making their partner comfortable. I've done enough, and there's so much more too. She hasn't responded to the message still because everyone knows I don't bluff. My family is on my side. After the whole thing about cutting contact with my best friend, they don't like her now and want me to break up with her. I'm leaning towards that. However, I guess she told some of her friends because they're harassing me.
What the heck? Who are these people?
They said partners don't give ultimatums to each other. And if I actually cared for her, I'd just go along with everything and give her some time to heal.
I'm sorry. They said partners don't give ultimatums to each other. She gave an ultimatum.
With time, everything will get better. One of them even said, I must be talking to a guy on the side because I won't be going so hard about this. I think I'm just standing up for myself. I've never been in a relationship where someone has past relations that were so bad. I don't know if I'm just being insensitive. Am I the a-hole?
No, you're
not.
obviously not the a-hole. Like, your partner is so far, like, overreaching.
Yeah.
So overreaching.
That's
and is clearly insecure.
Yeah.
Also, didn't love the comments at the beginning of her being like, oh yeah, my ex was a fake lesbian. Like, she could have been bi.
Yeah.
Like, well, I feel like there's that, I don't know.
She did it for trends.
Yeah, like that, that's icky.
The day after I posted, I took some of your advices to help me break things off with Tyra. So we're breaking up.
Good.
I texted her, informed her that due to the post she made that we were not fit for each other. I also added that I loved her and I hope she still goes through with therapy to help her with future relationships. My mom and I had a talk. She decided decided it would be best for her to give Tyra her things just to ensure nothing for the worst happened. My mom's house is actually a family home that all my best friends and my elders live in together, so she felt it was better if Tyra got physical. I texted Tyra one last time telling her she would pick up the few things she'd left over the year at my mom's place, and my mom would be there to hand it off to her. I blocked her after she began to blow my phone up, calling me more times than I can count. Next day in the evening, my mom called me when Tyra came to pick up her stuff. I heard some screaming from Tyra. She was yelling that my mom's the reason I was breaking things off, which is not true. My mom listened to me and ignored her, sat the stuff down, and went back to the house, locking the door behind her. She legit started banging on the door, sat outside the house for 30 minutes, saying she wasn't leaving till she talked to me because none of this is like my name. My mom called the cops. They got her off the property and told her if she came back that she would be trespassing, so they have to arrest her. From what my friends have shown me, Tyra is on a rampage, Facebook Lives, and several other posts about me. She even found my first post on here and made a post about me telling people who have nothing to do with our relationship. She's been deleting comments where people are telling her she needs to stop.
Good. At least people are telling her.
Tyra has made some threats concerning my life, but my uncle is a veteran and has good connections with our local police station, as well as some connections with judges who have said if she tries anything, even stalking my place or my job, it'll be grounds to be a restraining order. If she goes against that, then there will be legal consequence.
Good. This is good. I'm glad.
Getting serious. As of right now, my friends have kept her on Facebook and take screenshots of any concerning post in case I need them. By the way, if you want more concerning stories just like this, check us out on OK Storytime on your favorite podcast platform. Just search up OK Storytime. And we're right there.
Right there. Yeah, I mean, like, at least you saw those red flags right away and you're like,
my gosh,
no,
yes.
I'm out of here.
Out.
And she proved you right.
Facts.
If anyone's telling you, if you ever have a partner who says, I want you to cut off the people that you're close to in your life and that you're not allowed to see a certain type of person, gotta go.
And I also was contacted by Tyra's ex. She's seen the drama on Facebook, a post my friend made just talking about Tyra's past relationship caught her eye. Turns out she never cheated. She broke up with Tyra due to her abuse. You guys were right.
Oh my God. And I bet maybe she got with a man or something. And now Tyra's like, oh, she was never a queer woman or anything. And it's like, no, she was probably bi.
With her ex, she started off with cutting off guys, then women. And after a while, she started isolating her from friends and family.
Exactly what she would have done to OP.
Mm-hmm. Ex started dating other people, but Tyra made a lie that they were still dating when she started seeing others. She's bi. What do you know? Tyra's just crazy. I've been given permission to share this.
I freaking knew it. I knew she was a liar.
Liar and a thief.
I freaking knew from the beginning the wording of, oh, she was just doing it for the trend. No one, that's not how that works. That's not how that works.
I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy though.
Yeah, there is a difference between straight women kissing other women at a party and a woman getting into a relationship with another. Like that is you don't do that for trends.
Yeah. Again, thank you to everyone for the advice. I appreciate it deeply. I hope life gives you the best it offers to all of you. And one comment, how are her friends and family not seeing how crazy she's acting? She needs professional help and help before she does anything crazy.
Yeah, I mean, she already has.
Opie says, from what I was told by her ex, they were even okay with everything happening in the relationship with her being isolated from her family. It's crazy to me. I was shown some reports that were filed by her ex. What she tried with me was only the tip of what happened to her last relationship, and her ex has a restraining order on her that will soon expire. And then Opie adds, hey, I'm good. I have court in a few weeks to get a restraining order. Then I will be going to small claims court to get a settlement on damages she's done to my car. I have surveillance videos and also Stupidly Live deleted it, but my mom was able to screen record it. I've ended my lease with a fee, of course, but I'm back at my family's home, so everything is going well. Thanks for asking. And that is it. Wow, she went psycho.
Crazy lady. Yeah, when people tell you who they are, believe them.
That's the end of that story.
Man, oh man.
But we got another one coming right at you.
My boyfriend's ex-wife is way too involved in our relationship. I'm sick of it.
Or you could add her.
I, female 42, have been single for 3 years. It was a choice I made after getting out of a very toxic relationship of almost 9 years. By the way, this comes from @beautiful8808. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So I decided to get to know myself and heal myself, going through psych and therapy to find out how to become a better person. As I know that when you're in an actual narcissistic relationship, you gain some narcissistic qualities, and I want to be able to nip that in the rear right away. I found myself and have become an almost completely different person, though I am still in extensive trauma therapy. Since becoming single, I have made a lot of new online friends and am part of a community that shares partners. I lost 70 pounds in 8 months, got into the gym, and have turned my health around completely. I can handle my life and my own mental health fairly well, letting people know when I need a moment to process their words or when I need a day to myself. My trauma therapy is even going to start me on another round of EMDR to help get rid of whatever diagnosis he believes I have going on, and my psych doctor is weaning me off a lot of medication that she doesn't believe I need to be on anymore. It's refreshing. However, being a person who dates more than one person at a time is a bit more difficult in the dating field than it is for monogamous people. I recently got on Facebook dating and by chance met a really great guy, Ryan, fake name. Male 41. He's burly and bearded, sweet, attentive, and compliments me all the time. We have a lot of different interests, some that neither of us has a real interest in becoming engrossed in, and while some may think that makes us doomed, I find it healthy. We can do our own things separately while we share common interests in other areas and can make use of our time together better. He's also been in the same dating world I have been in, simply in a different way. He's cultured and handsome and tells me I'm a bad A and cute every day. We have also agreed to keep our relationship ours only for the foreseeable future. We decided mutually after a month to become boyfriend and girlfriend, and things were beautiful for roughly 2 weeks. Dang!
Yikes.
Dang! You only got 2 weeks of that?
I've heard stories of people getting married and then like right after they get married, they become a monster.
Yeah.
At least it happens when you're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah. Long suffering sigh. The biggest issue that I have with this man are that he lives with his not quite ex-wife, Emily, female 38, who has the entire upstairs to herself while they share the main floor. And they have 2 young ones, male 2 and male 7, that run around, as well as a teen, female 16, that is his daughter alone.
Time out.
His not quite ex-wife?
Not quite.
And they still live together?
Legally or emotionally?
It also seems like they're not even separated. B, while Ryan is Mr. Mom, his ex-partner is barely able to take care of herself with her own mental health issues, let alone her children, for more than a couple of hours at a time. I feel that Ryan lets her take advantage of him in more ways than one. However, I didn't voice this because we are still so new in the relationship. Hindsight being what it is, I can recognize that perhaps she has a postpartum thing going on as well, considering they were breaking their marriage up when the youngest was only a little over a year old, and he had told me they'd been falling apart for years. Emily and Ryan have been separated since November of 23, living in the same home and trying to cohabitate for the kids. While I am not particularly patient with every child I come across, I get attached very quickly and I'm very good with them. His children grew on me quickly. Emily and I have even tried becoming friends. We went out and had a few drinks, talking a lot, and got to know each other quite well, I thought. Emily has been in a year-long relationship with someone else, and that day he had broken up with her. She had voiced that she was having a very hard time with me being with her ex, whereas Ryan had reassured me that he doesn't have romantic feelings for his ex. I'd been told that things were mutually fine between Ryan and Emily until I came into the picture. She kept to herself for about 2 weeks after that, until 3 days ago when she admitted to Ryan that she still has feelings for him. A month ago, he would surprise me with a coffee that I like, randomly invite me over or out on a date, or even invite himself over. I always let him take the lead on where we spent time together because he did have children to juggle, and I have my own business that is flexible enough to find time whenever he had it. Since Emily's confession, Ryan had been distant with me, much less messaging, much less trying to spend time with me. I spent that time jittery and worried to death, but scared to push him into telling me what's going on. He finally told me he was coming over night before last, and by that evening, he told me Emily was having a breakdown and he was watching over her to make sure she didn't do anything to herself that everyone would regret. I advised him to call the rescue and let them handle it, knowing the night between us was already a no-go, but he came back with, I don't know if I want to do that, and it wouldn't change me not coming to see you anyway. I said, obviously, but she needs professional help if she's being serious. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Facts.
After more conversation, I came to the conclusion that she's being manipulative, and he felt the same way, but he was unwilling to change the situation. So she's basically like using this, it's seemingly, to stop him from going out to see a
Yeah.
That gave me a lot of clarity. Yesterday morning, I finally worked up the nerve to say something. I asked him if we were in trouble, and his answer took a long time to come. Those little bubbles in the chat that appear and disappear were making me nauseous. His message read, I don't know. I'm confused. I always told myself that I would not be the other woman, and this relationship just got extremely messy, so I told Ryan that I was backing away for a day or so to give us both some time to process what we want out of this. It was very rough for me because this brought up old feelings of abandonment and betrayal, as Emily had always been so openly happy to my face, and Ryan went from, I have such deep feelings for you so fast, to, I'm confused and don't know what I want. Well, yeah, he's give little thing I like to call love bombing.
Ooh.
The fact that like you guys weren't quite together, you just got into your official relationship.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then you're finding out all of this stuff. It's tricky.
Oh, and I bet that wife is making all the moves she can to get him back.
With a lot of continued conversation, never fighting, we didn't argue about it at all. He thanked me for giving us some time to maturely process this change, told me I'm a bad A, and we stopped communication. My friend, female 32, had to make a bet with me because I kept wanting to break my own self-made boundary and message Ryan. She told me that as long as I don't message Ryan, she won't go buy a nicotine vape. Y'all, that's huge. So of course I took the bet. Good friend. She's like, you know what? I'll go clean. I'll quit if you stop, if you don't text your ex.
That's a great friend on both sides.
Yeah. After 24 hours of going through a roller coaster of emotions, from anxiety to ugly crying, I finally got my head on straight and decided to break it off with him.
Let's go.
Nice. Yeah, you don't deserve all that wishy-washiness. I let him know I would be here for him as a friend, and since he has his own mental health concerns, I assured him that I would check in to be sure he was okay.
That's nice, but
you don't have to. It's not your responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like, it's nice, but you have to take care of yourself first.
If you guys were together for like 3 years.
Yeah, but like you just became,
Not even 3 weeks.
I also stated, as a friend, please continue to look out for your boundaries, look out for manipulation and control. We had openly communicated about all of these things throughout our small relationship, so I did feel comfortable telling him that. To which he wholeheartedly agreed he would do and told me he would love to remain friends. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But you know what you do have to do? Listen to full episodes with stories like this. Just go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime. And there is a little bit left to the story, but any final thoughts?
No, it's just tricky all the way around.
Yeah.
OP, you know what you need to do.
You just have to stop.
Go for it.
Yeah, I don't think you have to necessarily, be friends.
No.
Obviously, I feel like that's always what is said.
Also,
And
in a
sometimes
way,
it works.
you
but-
brought a couple together.
Yeah.
You could be happy. You could walk away with that.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not together though. The wife seems pretty manipulative too.
They're a happy family together.
I don't know. We'll see if those results are good. But there is a little bit more. It hurts so much to know that within my grasp, I had some hope and now it's been yanked out from under me, but I feel like an a-hole. Should I have fought harder? My 2 closest friends told me I did the right thing. Others congratulate me for being so strong, though I feel so weak. Some people say I should have fought for him because he was now in a relationship with me, and I should have let him know how much he meant to me. I've always been the type of woman who seals off the emotions after the breakup, living with the mindset of, if you don't want me, then you don't deserve me. I feel as if this was the right road to go down, but still I have to ask, am I the a-hole for breaking up with my boyfriend because of his not quite ex-wife? There's no way, right? You're not the a-hole.
You're not the a-hole.
Like going into the thing of like, oh, you should stay together. Like you should let them know that you're in, you love them, blah, blah, blah. Again, you've been with this man officially 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 2-3 weeks. This is not like, if this were 2 years down the line, it would make sense if you hit a bump in the road and he was like, I don't know if this relationship will work.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, like we can work through this. That would make sense to fight for it. But right now it's like, he has a lot of issues going on.
Yeah, you don't
want to get mixed up in right now.
Yeah, you don't deserve to be mixed up in that either.
But that is the end of that story and the end of this episode.
Yes.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.